Welcome to Samuels.here channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuels.here, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. All the high value here are married. I know who they are.
Exactly, because that's where you go to marry. That's where you go after you get married. If I moved up there, I would have my family in Connecticut. Well, maybe not. I'm a city guy. But the point is, you have your sorors, and y'all all have the same thing. How many of your sororities, how many of them are single? Are you talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How many of them?
Oh, I have like my whole clique. It's like single women, and I've been hanging out with them.
Give me a number.
Let's say 6.
Okay, 6. If I threw one man in front of you, one will get him. The other 5 are bridesmaids. Go.
Yeah. Oh, I mean.
Well, what you gonna be? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm definitely gonna go.
Okay, you gonna break somebody's jaw?
Well, they're older and they have.
Okay, then you're gonna break a hip. It might be easier. I don't know.
Yeah, they're giving up. They're.
How much older are we talking?
They're in their 50s, a lot of them, and they're convinced that they don't want to be married. I don't believe it.
Right.
Because they're miserable and like,
right.
But there's a couple that are actually, like maybe 1 or 2 of them that I think are actually happy single, but the others I do think they wish they had.
So are they fit?
No.
There you go. So it's not as though they've given up. They have no real options. Because if they were still fit from 40 to 50, put a man that's a high value man in front of all of you, and I guarantee you their tunes would change. But when you cannot get him, it's easier to say, I don't want him, because you feel the fitness criteria. This is why I don't understand with so many women today. Men want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. And if you feel the fitness component, the whole notion of high value goes out the window for the most part. And I don't understand why so many women today cannot stay fit when you're single with no kids. Makes no sense. But you in particular, you got a choice to make. Your family gave you the best information they could, but you're 40 years old. You've been on your own. You've been responsible for you for the last 22 years. When was your last serious or long-term relationship?
The first part of this conversation you'll find in the video Papa Don't Preach Part 1, which I will put in the end screen at the end of this video, which is of course Part 2. Now, the background is this lady is 40 years old, whose father is 88 years old, and the advice he gave her was to be independent, to go down the route of academia, which he himself had gone down, and his wife, so the mother of this girl, had gone down. She's a nice lady from a 2-parent family. However, she finds herself single in today's dating market, just like many other people, and she doesn't understand why. And Kevin Samuels is trying to explain to her that she has had many misconceptions thrown at her, which she has taken as truth, and that situation has not helped. Here in this particular segment of the video, he is asking about her surroundings in terms of the people around her. He is establishing that the people around her who were supposedly happy being single are simply single because they don't have many other options. It would seem that at least their health, their fitness is not up to scratch, and therefore they know they don't stand a chance in the dating market. But the projected analysis that is given to her is, oh, we are happy being single. And Kevin is trying to educate her in this matter and explain to her that, no, these people are not happy. They just tell you they're happy to save face. So, yeah, that's the long and the short of it. He is trying very hard to help her, to give her practical strategies to improve her lot. He's already, in the previous video, advised her to just simply move because Connecticut, the city in which she is living, is not particularly conducive to finding a mate in the race group that she wants, which turns out to be African American. And apparently Connecticut is not a city where you find many African Americans. I am not American, by the way, so I don't know for sure, but this is the impression I'm getting just from this conversation. So now he's going to dive more in depth into her personal situation in order to hopefully find solutions for her. And I think this is a helpful video for other women in her position to listen to study, because the information that he gives her is naturally applicable to them.
Like 10 years ago was the
Holy
last
shit.
serious one. Yeah, I was engaged.
Okay, but 10 years ago, did they discover fire? Did y'all have fire back then, or they just now discover it? 10 years? Come on, Ma.
I mean, serious.
I'm being serious, but it's been 10 years.
Yeah, a serious relationship. I was in a 3-year situationship that I knew wasn't going anywhere. So I didn't. Yeah.
But you knew it wasn't going it? All right.
I know. Bad decision.
And see, women get upset with me when I say that whole die alone thing is because so many of our women just date unintentionally. So now with all this experience,
I'm a lover, Kevin. You are like so practical, and I'm now learning. I'm a lover. You know,
how's that working out for you?
So here we can establish that it ain't all Papa's fault. Yes, this lady made her own mistake on top of the false or inaccurate information that Papa gave her. You know, 3-year situationship, not helpful, right? It was just a waste of her time that she didn't have to throw away. No woman has 3 years of her fertility to throw away. Yeah, what can I say? It was a complete disastrous move. But anyway, we are where we are. She is trying to save face by saying she's a lover, not a practical dater. Well, I got news for you. Actually, it's not that I have news for you. You already know that it's not working out. Kevin asked that question. How is that working out for you? It didn't work out for you. So you already know it's not a good strategy. Why not be practical? Because practical works. It's a blood sport out there, the dating world. It's not for people to casually wander through, and then when it all goes wrong, when at the end you are left on the shelf, you are left in an unsatisfactory position, and then you start getting better. No, why don't you just do what you can in the present moment, wherever you are in the dating market, wherever you are, you can start afresh from today. And this is what Kevin is all about. And so he starts now. Yes, let's find a strategy for you. Here comes the practical information.
You're right.
Your father made a practical decision in your mother.
Yes, he did. He did.
It's not being a lover. See, we romanticize these things. I don't care about love at 40. You need to get respect and somebody who's going to give you your insulin shot.
Facts.
I mean, love went away 3 years after after you crossed line. That was over for 25. Love was kind of 25, 27. That's seriously at 40. All the mistakes, everything. Okay, you have 40. You still have half of a life left. What you gonna do?
That's why I'm calling you, because I'm listening. I got the move to New York, memo. I want to know, what can I do at this point? Well,
this is a show. A detailed plan is gonna cost you a consult. I'm giving you an idea of what you should do. One, you need to prioritize. What kind of man do you want? What do those kind of men want from a woman? And are you willing to do what you need to do to give it? But not right now. You are geographically undesirable to the kind of men you say you want. So it doesn't matter. If you're not prepared to put yourself in the proximity game, what's the point? So let me get this right. Even if I dropped Boaz in front of you, you're in Connecticut. He's in Jersey. That's a long distance relationship, no matter how you slice it. Who's moving to who?
I'm willing to move for love, but it does seem...
I don't care about no. Take love out of your vocabulary.
She's stuck on the love thing. Now, I don't know if this is wrong particularly. It's just not working out for her. So no matter how many times we turn around the tree, we still arrive at the same point. It's not working out. Period. Let's find another strategy. Take the love thing away. At least try it. Take the love thing away. Be focused. Be goal-orientated. Now, this is a problem of feminine nature, I believe. We are not particularly goal-orientated like men are. Maybe that's just a feature of femininity. Maybe it's actually nice to be like this. However, it's definitely an Achilles heel when it comes to getting a mate, getting a man, getting a husband. It's a bit of a disadvantage, but perhaps we have ways to get around it. We have our feminine ways which we can use to circumnavigate such hindrances, such hurdles in our nature. I don't believe that we should remove features of our femininity in order to get a man. That's perhaps unattractive in of itself. Maybe it's a nice feature and not a bug. But it's certainly a disadvantage, isn't it? Why did God make us like this? We hopefully can find a way. We can hopefully find a way. So the practical thing to do is just go for it. Move city, as Kevin Samuels is telling this lady. That's the first thing. Secondly, look for what the men in your target group are seeking. Then you can be that person. It sounds a bit disingenuous, I have to admit. But, as long as you actually believe in the changes you're making, you assimilate them in a way that it becomes second nature to you. And then in that case, ladies, listen up. In that case, please don't change back to how you were once you've got, the prize, once you've caught the fish. Be that person that you become to attract your man, and then stay that way. I think I find that many men regret marrying because suddenly the nice lady they picked up, from the sea, the nice fish they picked up, turned into a whale or a shark later. They don't like that. So it is not bad to change for the goal of getting a good husband, but that change should be permanent. Then you're not deceiving anyone. You see what I'm getting at? This is the accusation. I'm only being the messenger here. This is the accusation. A lot of dating experts will tell you, yes, you must change. Kevin Samuels is doing that after all. You must change. You must do something different. But that's where they leave it. I'm saying change. Yes, it's good because you need to change to get somewhere. But when you've changed, stay constant. That's all I'm saying. Like this, men respect you. Remember, he used the word respect. Men like to respect each other, if that respect is earned, of course. But they also need to respect women that they later take into their fold, into their household. I know that we women, we don't really understand respect. We don't require it that much. We prefer love. This is why this woman is stuck on the love thing. Hey, you see, you got to understand how the brains work in men and women, right? I'm a woman too, so I understand the love thing, which is why I say to you, this is my disclaimer, I don't know if it's a bad thing because I'm also trying to save face. I'm a woman too. But maybe that's not such a good strategy to keep saving face. I am just as guilty as the rest of them. So, yeah, let's just follow Kevin Samuel's advice. It's much easier. Let's listen to the rest of his advice.
Okay.
I'll keep it there.
Okay.
And die alone. I'm dead ass serious. Why do we feel like we get love? Why is that so important? Love.
Isn't that what this is all for?
No.
What is it for? Isn't not dying alone is so that you have someone who loves you when you are dying?
No, love comes after. Do you think people loved each other back when they married, when they're arranged marriages? You learn to love somebody. And I'm extending this because I need people to understand how deep this goes. Talking to a college-educated woman with a PhD and all this other stuff, and you're still talking this Harlequin romance, Disney stuff that does not work in your own life, and you are refusing to get rid of it.
But I've had love, Kevin.
Okay, well.
But I hear you.
No, you don't.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
I mean, no, you don't. Here's the thing. This is why I get real practical. You want love? Oh, well, you don't want to do this. We can do it. Do you really want to do this, or do you just kind of want to do this?
Go for it.
All right. Do you want children?
I do.
How many?
I'll settle for one at this point. I'm 40.
Right. What percentage of the financial load for the family would you like to have to be responsible for?
40%.
All right, 40%. Mm-hmm. So when do you want a boy or a girl?
Boy.
I know you want to. All right. So when little Key Light is born, I don't know. So I see his face. So when little Key is born, and you've been waiting for him for 40 years, and you have birth pregnant, you give birth, 12 weeks after you give birth, you're going to turn him over to a nanny and go back to work. And let somebody else and pay somebody else thousands of dollars to raise little Key.
I believe it can be done.
Nope. I'm saying that's what we're doing.
I mean, because that's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's not go there. I'm asking. That's what we're doing. How much is new child care?
I don't even know.
$500 on the low end a week. $2,000 a month. So you turn them over to Becca or even Keisha.
I'm just trying to lower my standards, Kevin. Of course, I would love to have a wealthy man, of course, where I didn't have to work. But I understand I'm 40. I'm not in my best shape. You know,
exactly. So you're talking about. So you don't get to talk about love when you got all those things going on. Too many struggles. Too many. Because you're still wanting to date like a 20-year-old at 40 with all those struggles.
So I think what Kevin Samuels is saying here is, lady, you can't afford love. That butterfly feeling, that teenagey, young adult type of situation. You can't afford it simply because time is against you and your circumstances are against you. You're not in the best shape. You are not the most attractive. Hey, you better get practical, because at least with practical, you get somewhere. You get a man. He may not be the best, the wealthy man that actually you may need, because if you want to have that stay-at-home mother type of situation where you get the luxury of looking after your children or your child at home while he goes to work, while you may want that, you just won't get it, because that man wants something different from who you are. Someone physically different from you. Someone who's not 40, who's not likely overweight, who's not also psychologically undesirable as you may be to him with your PhD and stuff. Tough one. So the long and the short is, get practical. That's what he's saying, if I'm not mistaken.
But I'd be okay with like a man making like $80K. I think I make enough to, cover the difference for one child.
Lord have mercy.
That's what I was thinking, after listening to all of your shows.
And what percentage of black men earn more than $75,000, $80,000 in this country? What percentage? Come on, PhD. What percentage?
I'm a PhD.
15. 1.5. Well, 1.5 or 1.3. 13 or 15%. And you're in Connecticut. You still want a man in the top 13 to 15% of all men at 40 years old with all the things you said. And that you'd be happy with it. Ma'am, you'd be blessed. That's winning the lotto, the Powerball. This is why I asked, is a B enough? Ma'am, you should be happy if you get a man. No, you lucky if you get a man making. You'd be fortunate to find a man who's making median income.
Okay.
Or because the kind of man you're saying, ma'am, does exist. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but does he want a 40-year-old woman who's everything that you just said?
But I'm feminine, and I'm...
Okay. How tall are you?
I've got some things going for me.
How tall are you?
5'8".
How tall are you?
5'8".
Dress size?
12. Don't do it, Kevin.
Ma'am, I'm just being honest. At 5'8", you're feminine, but no, you're a brat. You're soft-spoken, but you're a brat. That comes across as feminine, but it's kind of passive-aggressive.
I can accept that.
So, at 5'8", 40 years old, yes, men who are earning that kind of money. But when he's looking across the spans and he's making, a black man making $80,000 is making twice what the average black man makes. He's got options.
Oh, that took me by surprise. I didn't get the impression she was a brat, the way she was speaking until this point. So I'm a little confused about that comment from Kevin Samuels. But anyway, it's okay. She herself accepts it anyway. But that, to me, just increases her nice personality, in my view. Anyway, let's just skip over that part. The point is that, yes, now we get to the nitty-gritty. She really is overweight. Size 12 with height 5'8". Well, yeah, that's a problem. She's, as far as we can tell, not had any children, so there really is no reason to be so overweight, right? Yes, of course, as we all get older, we put on weight, but not to that extent, I think. Anyway, so now it transpires, in this case, get practical means lower your expectations. That's perhaps fair. She's 40, she doesn't have too much time to dream of the lofty alpha guy. The lofty expectations are perhaps should be out of the window by now at this age. Maybe Mr. Plumber, Mr. Electrician, Mr. Farm laborer, whatever. Somebody who is in need of a wife, who is himself not too lofty with his expectations, and someone who is willing to enter into an alliance with an older woman. And I'm sure there are many who would take her up if she accepts them. So there's a lot of compromising that needs to happen for her to get what she wishes for, which is a partner to go through the rest of her life with.
And the real hard question comes down to, he's got options among black women and all women because he's more economically attractive. Why does he want a 40-year-old woman, period? Especially if he wants more than one child. You can't do that. One is at best. So yes, you ladies need to really substantially lower your expectations to reality to meet your reality.
That's what I thought I was doing.
No.
You're saying not 80, 50.
Ma'am, a man marrying you, right, can get one child at best. That is just a step above the woman who was on before you. The woman in Canada.
Yeah. But I think...
Listen, and that woman was 36 years old, 5'4", 130 some odd pounds. You saw the pictures. And I'm saying, I said the same thing to her. A man is going to want, for the risk that comes along with marriage in the West, to get at least his own seed into the next generation. At 40, ma'am, you're 5 years into geriatric pregnancy. Have you done any fertility tests or anything like that? Yes, I have. And I'm in really great shape, but my gynecologist doesn't recommend it after 42. Exactly. Exactly. So, one child at best. ma'am, you cannot be playing this money game. Does he have
Honestly, I'm not. It's not about the money, Kevin. I was hoping you would kind of understand, given my background. I just don't know how much in common I'll have with a man who was making $50K. I need an intellectual man. I'm raised by professors. You know, I need to be able to have an intellectual conversation.
Oh my God, man.
I mean, I just don't think we'll click otherwise. It's not that.
Okay, I laugh because I'm trying to be polite. You don't have that kind of leverage to be walking. You are walking like you are showing up prize to this man. Because your daddy and your mama are educated, and you're a Delta, and your mama's a Delta, your father's a Kappa, and your brother's a Kappa. He ain't marrying none of that. He's marrying your 40-year-old self. This is why I said, you ladies really, really believe you are so much. You overrank and overestimate yourself. And that's why I said this PhD shit goes to y'all's head. I just don't know what kind of stuff I'd have in common with him. In other words, I will be settling for a man at median income. I got news for you. You just insulted over half of the black men in this country.
No,
yes, you did. Ma'am, listen.
That's not what I meant.
But that's what you did.
Not what I meant.
But that's what you did. I know it's not what you meant, but that's what you did. When you said, I don't know, when you said, don't overtalk me. When you said that I was hoping that I would understand where you're coming from, looking at your background, I understand that you waited too long to play that card.
Oh dear. For what it's worth, I don't think she intended to be insulting to men. I think she was just stating her own genuine concerns about the practicalities of living life with someone that may not have the same educational or intellectual interests as she does. For what it's worth, I just have this feeling that that's what she meant, and not I am above the average man. But the result is the same, because for the man watching, for the man on the other side of the fence who she wants to date, that's the same conclusion that Kevin Samuels reached. That's what he's reaching as well as a conclusion. And that's the sad part about this. Anyway, I have to end the video here, but you get the gist of it. It's a real conundrum. I hope that things are better for you in your journey in the dating market. Take care, lots of happiness and blessings unto you.